Firstly, a warm welcome to everybody who has joined. Thanks so much for making time for this. We have two very special people, two very special creators, Manish and Jatin with us. As I was talking to them about many different things prior to this, but today one of the most exciting things that's happening on LinkedIn or anywhere if you're alive is content creation, right? We have heard about people like Food Farmer, Revan Themasinga. Oh my God, he's created so much buzz around a very big, very special cause around people becoming more healthy, reading labels behind the different food items that they are purchasing. Then you have people like Nancy Tyagi who are coming from small town like Bareilly in Uttar Pradesh and making it big in Cannes and really just doing it because she is a fantastic creator. But in addition to being a fantastic creator, she's really good at her craft, which has been showcased through her content. And then you have people like Jatin and Manish who have been slowly but surely growing in their own craft and really making a mark in the content world. So what we want to focus on today is learning more from their journeys, their experiences, and how they have been able to start from zero to where they are today in content creation. I know from my personal experience there are a lot of people who think about becoming creators but then face hesitation doing it. So that's what we are going to understand, like how to break that hesitation, how to have some sort of a framework or some plan in mind that you can use to be more successful in your creation journey. So with that, maybe we can start off just by sharing brief backgrounds or intros so that in case people haven't heard of us, which I don't know how that's possible since we are so active on LinkedIn, but in case people haven't heard of us, then it would be good to share a background. So Manish, it would be good if we can get started with you. Just a brief background on what you've been doing and how you became a creator.
Yes, thank you, Arjun, and thank you for having me in over this podcast. And for everybody, I believe everybody is very smart. They must have seen and visited my LinkedIn profile already, and they know that okay, what exactly I'm doing. But if you didn't get a chance, so just tell you, I have an agency of the analytics, and we help our clients in understanding the data better. And the other part is the content creation side. So I have a digital school, and that is on the Nas.io, which is owned by Nusayed Yassin, which is one of the biggest creator in the world. So I work with them directly on their platform, and we have different courses. We have digital assets, we have cohorts, we have boot camps. We are doing a lot of stuff on the content creation side. And if I just tell you in a very quick that what kind of content I usually create, I just help people how they make money online without quitting their day job. Because in 2020, when everybody was stuck in the COVID times and everybody was just searching how to make money online because everybody got a lot of time in hand. So I thought that would be best time to start my journey of the either the consulting or something like that. But yes, at that time, I really wanted to have that attention because I had very less, I would say, network. I had absolute no idea about the network, although I was in the corporate for 8 9 years at that time, but still I was not very great with the attention. So I thought, what would be the best way? It's just about sharing about my thoughts on, let's say, Facebook or maybe let's say also over the WhatsApp. So I thought that it would be great if I just start using all the social media channels and let's just talk what exactly I know about my from my experience, from my relationships, from my business, from my content creation side. So I just started talking about everything. And then eventually I'll get to know that, okay, these are my specific niche. I just need to target, I just need to help and empower those people who really want to make money online, but they are directionless right now. So that is why we have created a lot of courses around it. We have created a lot of courses around the career development side so that
Right.
they can actually take their first decision very strategically and wisely. So that's how I started my journey. So yeah.
Brilliant, brilliant. Yeah, I think there were a lot of people who started their journey during COVID, me being another one of them. And that was a perfect time because there was just so much free time you had at hand, right? Like, I mean, all the time you saved from commuting in this brutal heat, you could spend that online, reaching out to people, connecting with like-minded folks. That's brilliant. Jatin, I think you have created a massive online presence for yourself. People associate you with I think the Ranveer Singh of LinkedIn, as I've heard before. So, can you share more about your journey, please?
Dude, first of all, I'll say on the Ranveer Singh joke, I think it's just gonna stay a joke now because Ranveer Singh is probably losing all his energy. Like he's lost all the colorful clothes he was wearing after he's got married with Deepika Padukone. I'm really sorry for that. I think I'll just own that keyword very soon and very shortly. Sorry, Ranveer. But having said that, I'll tell a little bit about myself. But I want to give a shout out to Vipinder. Oh my God, Vipinder, you actually literally joined. I read your comment. It's so lovely to have you in a panel. And I think it's the first time we're actually interacting. So lovely to have you here. And now to talk about like my content. I mean, that's what I love about it. Like Vipinder and I, we have been in my community. I don't know for 2 years. I don't know how many years, Vipinder. I don't really know that. But I'll tell you how we met, and I'll cover that in actually what Arjun wants me to answer for you guys. How am I on the screen? What am I even doing here? So I wanted the blue badge that Arjun had that he got at 3,500 followers. Okay. So I didn't have that badge. I didn't get that badge. I wanted the top voice badge. I wanted it very much. So I went to this lady, her name is Tanya Dubey, and I just like wrote her an email. She was working at LinkedIn as the first ever LinkedIn's creator and manager India. And I wrote to her and I said that, hey, can we get on a call? I need your help. And what can we do? And then she was like, this is a weird person. It's a weird request. Now Tanya and I are very good friends. And she just kind of like came on that call that time. So she told me later about it. So when Tanya came, she said that, Jatin, you don't have a niche. You don't know what you're actually talking about. You're largely just self-boasting, self-promoting yourself, putting your pictures and saying how good you're doing in your office life and all of that and everything. So I was like, okay, I took her feedback, and then she also gave me some really good feedback, which I could work on. But I really did not understand, Arjun, at that time, Manish, that what niche is. Like Manish has also just said that, I did a lot of stuff and then I figured out what my niche was. Bro, I quit on my niche. I said that I will not find a niche. Why is LinkedIn trying to box me into like this one category of things? I'm so many things. When I go to the gym, I'm a different person. When I go for swimming, I think like I'm an athlete over there. So I'm like such a different person. Hi, Ira. I love when anyone turns on their camera. So I think the fantastic thing was that when I was then Tanya sent me this message one day because we became friends. And she was like, this is a LinkedIn for Creator Accelerator program that is happening. So just because you were being like such a this like snabby person over there that day, so probably you can come and you can join this, but there'll be a very long application for it. So I filled the application. There was a video thing and all and everything. I did all of that in 3 hours. I was very, very excited, passionate about it. I even had a fight with my friends who were not taking my application seriously when I was reading it to them, honestly. And then I got in. I was very surprised. They only selected 200 people from the country. I thought all of them applied. But then once I got in, we went through the entire program. Of course, I wasn't able to attend all of the classes, but I got the recordings, like, for this particular event, everyone's going to have the recording later. So Arjun, what happened from there was I realized after the program was over, what stayed back, and Manish knows, we got the community with us, right? We got the entire community with us. So all the 200 of us, we still have a WhatsApp group. We still do our little things. Hey, what's going on in the LinkedIn group? What's going on in LinkedIn? How the algorithm's behaving and all that. Community was a gift, I think. I would still say it's the key product, but it's still a byproduct. What I realized at that point was that how will people like Vipinder, who are a part of my community, exactly know about the knowledge that I know about? How would they know? So no one's actually telling anybody how to create the right form of content on LinkedIn, and everybody's populating a lot of content on LinkedIn. I'll tell you the problem that I identified. Uh, Everyone copies the West, right? So you're copying content creators from the West, and in US, like you're sitting in New York right now, right? Like I've been to San Fran, and the situation over there is pretty, I mean, different, just like the London High Street situation right now. And they're making their LinkedIn profiles, and they will just have their business. It's okay to have that because their culture is like that. But in India, you'll probably have something which is very emotion centric. You'll have more than just probably selling a product on the platform. And that information is not escalated. So everybody's copying the West, just doing copy paste, copy paste, copy paste, and coming from like now chat GPT escalated all of that. So we thought that we'll probably go to creators, we'll help them for free, we'll not charge them for anything, and we'll try to give them as many free resource books, do LinkedIn audio shows and all of that to kind of help them out. But we got to make money also. So I'll tell you how that happened, and I'll make it quick because I know it's just a short intro. Sorry, guys, I just speak a lot. But the thing is this, that I went to Dubai for an event. I was working at Planet Spark. I was making like really good money. Startups paid really well. And when you're the only creative marketing guy in the team, so you get good money basically. But when I came back from there, I gave my gifts from everybody. I attended the 1 billion follower summit when I met actually Nas, I met Ranveer Labadi and all of these guys. It was really fun, yeah. But I also met 3,000 other creators like me who had called the quits. They were from TikTok, YouTube, and whatnot. And these creators were having their own businesses. And now, second day, Manish, I got pulled in into every video. They were like, you come, stand next to a Mercedes and say, welcome to Dubai, Habibi. And I'm like, okay, this person has a lot of numbers on their social and they want me to be a part of a small clip in the video. So I was just like, probably, I started thinking about it. And so when I came back, I was in a meeting with my founder. After 2 hours of a long meeting, I just called quits of it. I called my best friend and I said, I want to quit it. He said, you get a lot of money, like you get a lot of money from them. Are you sure you want to quit it? But by the time I had some other clients, so I chose to just pick content creation. So what we do now at House of Creators is we work with content creators, we train them. So in a period of time, they can have their own courses and we take like 10% money on that for a lifetime. But also at the second time, we have entrepreneurs, CEOs, and VCs that we work with because we want their stories, which we can learn from, and our team can write about. So that goes on LinkedIn so that India can get the right kind of guidance that they're supposed to get. So we are a very boutique agency. I'm sorry, we don't work with anybody, but we work with like a list of entrepreneurs, and our entrepreneurs, more than five of them are unicorn starter founders in India. We also work with US clients and Dubai clients because it doesn't deduct tax. Thank you, Indian government, for letting us take all of that money. But that's what we do at House of Creators. So we work with content creators and only primarily do LinkedIn. And we help entrepreneurs, VCs, and founders create content on the platform. That's my time, and sorry for taking too long.
No, no worries. And I think that's very helpful. Both of you really shared, like, in terms of, how you actually became a content creator, what were some of the key, triggers, the motivations behind that. I think for both of you, it seems like there was definitely more than just your, I would say like a passive interest. I think you were really more intent on making this work for you, not just in terms of monetization, but really growing your community, connecting with people. You joined the Like app, the LinkedIn Creator Accelerator program. So there was a lot of intent behind this. And that's honestly uniquely different than most creators that I've come across, right? Most creators that I come across, they have been on LinkedIn. So they have seen other people create content and gotten influenced to start their own journey, but they don't know what they should be going for, what their goal is in terms of whether it's just their own personal brand building. Is it actually selling something online, like monetizing their content or monetizing some other product or service that they have in place? Or is it just to become a thought leader, connect with other people, get some get your interest, your network growing larger than where it is today? So there are different varying interests and goals in place, and people don't always know what they should be really going for, whether content creation is even the right thing for them or not. So the first thing that I want to address as part of this discussion is, how do you actually decide if content creation is the right thing for you? Because we have more than, I think, 100 million uh, LinkedIn users today in just India, and overall, I think 1 billion plus in the world. So as part of that, I know that less than 1% create content and less than 0.1% have over 10,000 followers today, meaning they're actually considered content creators. So when I decide that, okay, content creation is something I should look into, how should I think about positioning it in terms of achieving a specific goal? Manish, we'll start with you if you have any insights you can share on that.
Yes. So, if I talk about the macro of the content creation, it's all about how you can build a trust with your community. That is more important. So whenever somebody talks that if the content creation is the right fit for me or not, just think from this perspective. Just forget about the personal branding, the thought leadership, that should I get the business leads or not. Just think, how can I build the trust within the audience, within the community? Irrespective if you're going for a job, irrespective if you're going for a, let's say, business or something like that. If people can't trust you, you cannot make a business out of it. That is the ultimate thing. And this is the exact same thing which I've learned from two specific guys. One is Ankur Warikoo and one is Ali Abdal. So these two guys, what they have done, they have just created the trust ecosystem first. Once people started trusting them, then it becomes easy for you to sell anything or to build anything. And especially because we live in India. India is a very relationship driven country. If you cannot make a good relationship with others, it becomes very, very difficult for you to survive in any business or any kind of ecosystem. So I would always see content creation. If you have this kind of thought in your mind, if the content creation is right for me or not, or maybe not today or maybe tomorrow, just think from this perspective. You have to work on daily basis to create a trust. For example, if you have a spouse, if you have a girlfriend, if you have friends, if you have parents, so you have to work towards them, towards that relationship every day so that you actually get that trust built. So that is the exact same thing why I feel that, okay, if you have this thing, this thought on this mind, if this content creation right off for you or not, just think you have to build that trust first to create something big in the near future. So yeah, so that's my take on this question.
Yeah, I think that's a great insight. I think the trust ecosystem that you mentioned, I think that is 101, sort of the founding block of doing anything in India, really. It's not just content creation. I think if you are a professional today, people don't know you. The only thing they can do to trust you is maybe, get some references, try to Google you, try to look you up on LinkedIn and see what work you have done, but they definitely do all of those things before they decide whether they want to work with you. And I think building your personal brand, building, let's say, content on LinkedIn or any other social media platform only enhances that trust factor with people, definitely. Jatin, your thoughts on, how should people think about starting off their content creation journey, what kind of goals they should be setting, and how to actually pursue those goals?
So I'm not too sure if everybody's going to like my answer, but I'm going to take it slow as I speak because I usually tend to get very passionate and just move on with that. There are two approaches in my mind that comes. One is that when you're natural at it, I would consider myself a natural at it because before LinkedIn, where was I? I was on Instagram. Before Instagram, where was I? I was on Facebook. And between Instagram and Facebook, I have a YouTube channel in college, which I called Kuch Bhi Reviews, and I was creating content irrespective. So I think for some people, it is like that. I love attention. I'm a people pleaser. So you'll always hear me saying good things about you. I will, and now my magnet strategies have changed of networking. Now I'll attract people towards me. But earlier I wouldn't mind going and talking to everybody, getting to know. Like I think Manish has probably seen me at the LinkedIn Cap graduation party. I'm just like all over the place. And there are a lot of people like me that I have seen. Of course, I can't be like who I am unless I've met people probably who've had these skills before in the past. So I think one is where there's innate writing quality or content throwing quality or picture sending quality. It could be anything. It doesn't need to be social. If you're sending it to Snapchat to someone privately, if you're sending it, or if you're writing notes privately, if you're writing journals, Apple journals is pretty cool. I'm trying that right now. So if you're doing that already, just figure out a way that you can take what parts of that online. And I think that will then work for you. So that's one way to approach it, which I call the self-discovery model, where you will have to try out and then see if it works with the community or not, if people like it or not, and you have to be open to feedback and you have to be open to fail, and there's going to be a slower model, okay? Like, that's the thing. However, there's a second way to approach it. When you say that, oh my God, my name is Jatin Saini, I'm already running a business on LinkedIn, I'm making good bucks, I live a decent life. So what should I do? My retirement plan probably should be actually going back to Instagram and gaining 1 million followers. Manish and I have a lot of friends who have over 1 million followers. Dude, they get 3 to 4 lakh rupees per video, okay? And for per reel, for a 30-second reel. Okay, it's a difficult work and all and everything, Arjun. But they get 3 to 4 collabs in a month. I'm talking about finance influencers. I cannot name anybody. This is somebody who has 900K. Cannot say anything else more than that. Imagine other of my friends who I know the numbers of where they are going, right? And YouTube pays very differently well. So this, I mean, I'm considering it as my retirement plan. But now when I go to a different platform, right? So I leave LinkedIn and I go to a different platform. So what is going to be my strategy there? I don't want to be this personal branding person talking about like LinkedIn there also. I probably want to pick maybe something like I live in Goa. So I can just walk into any club because like I have been living here for the last 3 years and like make some interesting content, not like boring content, like really fun content. How much does it cost when you're going over there to a club? What is the couple entry? What is the stag entry? How does the price change when it's like December versus when this is like some other month of the year, when it's season, when it's off season? What's the music like? How much is going to cost me for a cocktail? All of these things I feel are lacking. And no one has done like a, let's say, club life experience. People have done nightlife content, not necessarily club life experience. So that's the strategy, okay? So that's the step two. That's not a self-discovery model. I'm going in for the kill. I know what I want. I know who my target audience is, Gen Zs. I know which brands I'm going to get probably eventually. Some of my videos are going to go out. Then I'll go to some lifestyle brand. I'm going to say, hey, Noise, give me a watch. Hey, you give me some clothes I'll wear, I'll rock or whatever, right? But probably Burberry's not going to come, but who cares? So there are two approaches to this. One is a self-discovery approach when like you're already like Vipender is somebody that I know, right? She has been creating content on LinkedIn on and off. So it's somebody who likes to share her stories. So that's probably your approach. Second is, if you're somebody who wants to get into the space, then strategize. And for strategy, I'll give you 3 steps. Number one, find 10 people that you really like, that you really admire, that you feel that that's the kind of content you want to create. Like, it was so easy that Manish was name dropping with Ankur. Arjun talked about like Niharika. She's all of her friends. It's so cool, right? Find 10 people, but find 10 people from same niche. If I'm doing clubs and I find people from like different, just stop, just don't do it. Waste time. Don't do it. Number two, after you're done with that, find what all brands can work with you, or if you don't want to go the brand route, because I come from a branding experience, I come from strategic partnership and alliances, so that's easy for me. So if that's not easy for you, then number two, go and read the stories of the top 3 people from the 10 list. How did they make it? Somebody would have covered their story. Find out what was their actually journey path, right? Like, I tried to find out a lot of people, how did they get their LinkedIn top voice badge? And Arjun, like you, everybody told me that we don't really know how that happened. So that's step number two. Top 3 people you figure out, and then you figure out what has been their story and trajectory. So give yourself a reality check. More often than not, we think on social media, tomorrow we're going to blow up, right? It took me 2 years to blow up. Now I'm blowing up, like what all reactions come on the platform, right? So it takes you time to get to the point where you build that insight. So figure out the top 3 people that you genuinely like, find out their story, how easy or difficult that it has been for them. And the third step is create. If you're actually going in for the kill, if you've figured out your niche, you've figured out the top 10 people, you figured out the top 3 people, you've done all of that work. Now you've got to start putting content. You got to put a calendar to it, put a timeline to it. Some of my friends, they have like some of my creative friends who, by the way, have, I don't know, Manish, if they are a common in our circle, but they have reminders on their phone and watch for writing time, for video thinking time. I was shocked because I don't have any of that. So I think there are a lot of ways to approach this, but in my opinion, I'll say 2 things. One is, if you're already doing it, then probably just discover yourself by experimenting. If you're not, have a strategy. If you're going in and you're not naturally doing it, you're forcing yourself to do it, please have a strategy. That's my time. Thank you.
Amazing. Jatin, that was brilliant. I mean, honestly, I think it was more than what I asked for, which is perfect, because a lot of times you get these glib answers where people just share, very, very high level stuff, which you can't really translate into a, practical strategy of sorts. And I think you gave that strategy. So I think frameworks always help, because otherwise it becomes very vague and kind of impractical to translate these insights into something that can actually work for you. Um, and Manish, you did the same. So I think we are off to a great start, and I want to start pulling people in into the conversation soon. So we'll discuss one or two other things, because there are some very commonly asked questions that we get time to time from aspiring creators. But folks who are in the room, please feel free to start sharing your questions for Jatin and Manish in the chat. And later on, if you would like to unmute yourself, we'll bring you up to the stage to speak more about your question, about your thoughts as well. But the next thing that I want to quickly touch upon is, when we are thinking about starting content creation, I think Jatin, you gave some great insights on, how you can either follow creators, how you can think about having a specific target audience in mind. All of that's great. But how do you decide what type of content you want to create? And that's not just your niche per se. I mean, people obviously have a high degree of understanding that they're good at this one thing. Like if they're working in, for example, HR, they will talk about HR. If they're good at finance and investment banking and VC, they will talk about that and so forth. But should I be sharing educational content versus more edutainment content? Where there is a some sort of a flavor of entertainment in addition to the educational aspects. Should I be sharing stories? Should I be doing just text based, or let's say images and videos? There's plethora of choices that people can choose from, right? So Manish, when you, let's say, talk to people who are just starting out their content creation, how do you help them understand what kind of content they should be creating specifically for their audience that would help them gain traction?
Yes, very good question. And this is the usual question of everybody who really wants to start their content creation journey, right? What type of content I should create? So everybody should understand there are multiple platforms, and the audience and the type of the content which you can create is very different. For example, LinkedIn is different, Instagram is different, YouTube is different. Even if you have your own email newsletter, that would be different. If you have a WhatsApp newsletter, by the way, I do have a WhatsApp newsletter, so that is also very different. So what I always say to everybody, that you just have to understand 2 things. First, you have to see in what type of content you are good at. Either you are good in writing, you would be good in audio or a video or a short form or a long form, or let's say article, writing an article, writing a blog. And the other is, where is the audience? What audience want? So you just have to see the combination of both. Once you understand the combination of both, it will be very easy for you to get more and more traction. So for example, if somebody really wants to make a content, let's say on the education side, and if they can create some sort of a YouTube videos, then there is a possibility that can blow up on the YouTube, but maybe not on the Instagram, because Instagram is more for entertainment. But if they actually add that entertainment element to that education content, there is a possibility that they can actually blow up on the Instagram. So first, everybody should understand every platform is different. The audience is very, very different. You cannot just think that, okay, I think in this way only, and I am a great fit for LinkedIn, and I will create the same type of content for the YouTube, and that will also work. But it will not work because the audience is different. Second, we have to see in which type of content I am more comfortable with. For example, I create content on Instagram. I have like 3 channels on Instagram. I have 2 channels on YouTube, long term, long form, short form. I do have LinkedIn. I have WhatsApp newsletters. I have email newsletter. So I just have to see that, okay, this is my, let's say, the best type of content which I am more comfortable with. And this is the audience which I can target on that social media platform, which can get more traction. And if I give a very business perspective or a business classic answer, what usually business people do, they create some sort of an hype to get the attention of 100% people. Out of that 100% people, only 99% of people, 99% of people are just there just to clap on that particular attention, and 1% of people can give the business to them. So that's actually summarize my answer to your question, that we have to see on which platform we are going to talk, on what kind of content we are more comfortable. That's completely fine. If you don't get the traction initially, you will get it eventually, but you have to put it consistently efforts. And the third is, you just have to understand what kind of and how much audience is going to be there for that particular niche on that platform.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think that makes a lot of sense. You have to kind of curate or tailor your content to the platform that you are building on. But even on LinkedIn, right? I mean, I know there is, specific type of audience on LinkedIn looking for specific type of support or, business solutions. And so you can think about creating LinkedIn content in a specific way. But, as Jatin said in comments, and I think, Manish, you're also implying this, even on LinkedIn, there are many different types of content that you can create because of your background and because of the, again, overused word, Jatin, but niche, the niche that you're in. Because I'll say this, right? If you're part of the startup ecosystem, let's say you're a founder or you're a VC, right? The kind of content you create that I have seen is usually fairly like deep, cerebral, pensive, like very, very, startup world focused kind of content, thinking about why a startup worked versus why a startup failed. And then you have things like what Jatin was talking about, that, there are certain types of creators which really who really share stories, and they are adept at creating emotional content that really resonates with people. So it's not as much about creating like deep, pensive, cerebral content. It's more about just sharing stories and things that they have learned through the journeys. So Jatin, my question to you, and taking things further from what Manish has shared, is like, when I'm thinking about creating even just on a platform like LinkedIn, not necessarily even on Instagram or some of the other platforms out there, even then I know I will be talking about work and careers and my work life. But how do I still figure out which kind of content would make more sense for me? Should it be more like these stories and experiences? Should it be more insight driven, educational, or something else?
Okay, so I'll try to answer this. This is an easy question. I'll answer it quick because this is the job that I do. So, 3 things here. Number one, what does LinkedIn want you to create? Like Manish gave a fantastic point where he said every different platform is different. And of course, I'll not jump into it. It's a different question. I get that. But I'll say that what is the purpose of LinkedIn? Right? So the purpose of LinkedIn was to help people find jobs. It kind of evolved in multiple forms. And now it's become like, hey, bring out the office conversations that are happening inside, outside the office and put it online. Right? So which means that I got a hard on that one, so I'll take it. But what I'm saying is that precisely that LinkedIn is telling you that whatever the office conversation is, whatever is okay to talk about in the office, that's something that you should talk about. Now, how do you talk to, like when I meet Manish, or I mean, I'm a very weird person. I talk 48,000 other things which I'm not supposed to, even on camera or otherwise. But when you're meeting somebody, a work colleague in the office, what are you talking to them about? Let's say you're meeting them on a Monday at 4 p.m. and they probably work in your team, or you're meeting to your team in marketing at 9 a.m. in the morning, and then you're asking them what? You're telling them what about your weekend? Because if you're discussing work, I think that's fantastic and perfect for LinkedIn. But LinkedIn is very open to any and every idea which is around your life. If you're comfortable talking about it in an office in front of 4 people, you can talk about it on LinkedIn. There is no problem. So I think that's where it kind of comes in. Now, your second point was, you said that should we talk in stories, or should we talk like, for Indian audience, please talk in stories, okay? They don't need the stuff like to the crib, like, hey, just tell me what the tea is and I'm going to go with. No, 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 no. They're going to take the tea. They're going to sit down. They're going to foo it. They're going to sip it. They're going to spend time with you. They're going to discuss. So it's always great when like you're talking about a story. Like I'll tell you a recent post that I did that crossed over 1 million impressions. That was great for me, right? Like I have barely 20,000 followers on LinkedIn. Who the hell even knows me anyway, right? So I'm thinking that this particular post crossed 1 million, one single post. Yeah, Arjun, I went bonkers. And it's not even a post I put any effort on. I put so much effort on content.
That is so true, Jatin. Sorry to interject, but that part, right? I want to just pitch in there, because some of the posts that have done really well for me, and I hear this from creators all the time, are the ones that we have not really strategized and spent hours putting efforts in, right? So yeah, I mean, that's another aspect I would love to kind of cover that. So feel free to share more like on like how have you discovered what works, what doesn't, like how does traction really work on LinkedIn?
Bro, I'll tell you honestly the truth. I used to post 4 times a day when LinkedIn Cap happened. Manish knows it. He was there. They made us post in 4 different types of content: a poll, a carousel, a text post, a picture post. How do I even come with all of these ideas? I have done enough. Now I post only one post in a week. You like it, you don't like it, I'm fine with it. You know, you asked this question, I think, a while in the interview where you said something like, how do we do it? What are the matrices that we decide? I'll tell you about my personal metrics, Arjun, that I do when I'm creating content. I have I have 20,000 something followers on the platform. So my intention is I have to get 2x of that. So if I get 40,000 impressions on a post, it's a good post. I will not post anymore. If I don't get 40,000 impressions in a week, then I'll do another post on a Friday. I usually post on Wednesdays. Yeah. So that's like my logic of saying that I have to get 2x of how many number of followers I have, and then I will consider myself successful. See, you have to create a metric, otherwise it's so tough. But now coming back to your point where you said that how does it happen with creators and they're experiencing this, that random content is going viral on LinkedIn. See, so I'll tell you what that post was about. So there is a Nigerian, she's very much with us. There is a Nigerian employee in our company, and she's amazing. But she joined our company, Arjun, on 1st of November, okay? And on 25th of January, I had to we do events in our company just like this one, and we give away gifts like vouchers to people. So in India, we give people like Amazon vouchers. In Philippines and Nigeria, we have like people from Philippines and Nigeria. We can't send them because Amazon doesn't exist there. So we transfer them money through wire transfer online. So we use HDFC Corporate Bank. I am so stupid. I am not supposed to do this work, but I thought that, last month when we had to, in December, when we had to send people the rewards of this award, na Manish, the problem was we sent them in January. That's how slow we were. I felt ashamed about myself and my team. And I was like, this finance department, we'll send it right now. I sent it right now. Instead of sending 2,000 rupees, which is the equivalent of $25, I sent her $2,000. That is how dumb I am.
What?
That is... Yes,
Oh my
bro. That's
goodness.
why this company is running on my co-founder.
Why don't my clients make mistakes like that? I need to get you as a client, Jatin, soon.
I don't make payments anymore, by the way. My co-founder has insured any of that. But I'll tell you something. But you know what happened? Dude, I did not even realize I had a flight the next day, or I think the same day. I don't know. It was Saturday when I had to do this and fly or whatever. And I was chilling at the pool when I was doing it, okay, taking a sun bath. I'm a drama person, dude. You know what happened after that? She texted me after 3 days, and it was at 5 a.m. in the morning, and she said that, Jatin, you've sent me $1,975 extra. And her mom worked at a bank and all of that, like she sent. So I put screenshots of that and I posted it last week or 3 weeks ago. I don't remember exactly. So that January 31st thing that happened, 25th January, I did it. 31st January, she told me. 2nd Feb, I got the money back in my account. Dude, she sits in Nigeria again. I have to say this, okay? I couldn't have done shit about it to recover my money, okay? I'm just letting you know. And we paid $50 for just the transferring of it, okay? So $25 was supposed to transfer. So just imagine that. So that story, when I put, a lot of Nigeria love that came to me, because I don't know. I mean, I just said this is the biggest mistake I made because I really felt guilty about it. But I just analyzed my content later, and it felt like that probably that people felt that, oh, it's another Nigeria scam post. Jatin has been scammed. Let's read about it. And what they found was exactly the opposite. So a lot of people from Nigeria came in and they said that, that we are actually good people. It's not just the bad of us that's out there. And I think that's why
Yeah.
the post took
It's
off.
a stereotype that's been created, and you sort of busted that myth about about that community of folks. Yeah.
So, bro, there's so many things that work in content, okay? On my profile, negative content never works. If I'm talking about anything negative, it will not work. Like that post will not cross 30, 40,000 impressions. It's not going to go, right? So if I want to write viral content, if you talk about the positive things of my life with my lens, with my perspective, like I call it the Jatin lens, because I don't really have any cheshme, dude. This is not number. It's just I like to wear it. Another post that went viral was, and then I'll make my point very quickly, is that the Tesla post. So my sister actually got fired, cousin sister, dude, but still a sister. She's the only sister in my buddy mummy side. So the most intelligent sister. That's how I know. Okay. So she had to move from New Jersey to DC. Oh my God, you guys are laughing at me. I'm going to stop moving. Manish, shut up. Stop putting your hand there because you're laughing on it. I know that. These guys do it. Guys, are you looking at this? This is what I have to do. I'm kidding, by the way. I'm kidding. These are sweethearts. So what happened? Bro, she went on Friday in the office, okay, and her card wasn't working. So the guard took the card from her. I was like, dude, and she's the most intelligent person in the house. We would say that Tesla, she's 7 years, she's been working there. So I wrote about it. Arjun, that post blew up, got around 800K, and got covered by 10 newspapers in India. Bloomberg US reached out to me and said, hey, I cover everything about Elon Musk. You want to give me the quote? I said, run away, girl. She's not got her severance yet, and my company is not going to pay that to her because she said they don't release my name and shit, but her surname is goddamn same. So it's funny. So honest stories work because a lot of people relate with it. The reason I wrote about Tesla was because I got the news. And a lot of people related with that post was because a lot of people were losing their jobs and they'd already lost their jobs in the month of April. And the same situation I explained on the post was actually something that had happened to them. They didn't want to write about it like my sister because they wanted to get their severance. I wrote about it, so it worked. Ada's post worked is because it was a very exceptional post where she did an act of kindness, dude. I mean, I would have had to pay that money from my pocket, Arjun. You have no idea. Thank God I didn't have to. So I think real stories work because there is no fabrication into it. When I write content, and if and I have used Chat GPT, right? There's a lot of structure that comes with it. Like I go to Manish's profile, I use Taplio, it's a tool. I can see viral posts from Arjun, you also, whatever viral posts that have been in the last 1 year. So I will say, oh, this post has been viral on Manish's profile. So I'll study it. Achha, so you have to write a story like this. It is the happiest moment of my day. You have to say and all and everything. So you can do
Right.
all of that architecture into the content. But the issue with that is it just doesn't necessarily work. So what are the real conversations that you'll probably have in your office, which you feel are worth it sharing online, which you would want to talk about? So long as you're doing that, I think it works. And fail at it, dude. Like I failed at it so goddamn much, dude.
Yeah.
So if you do, then you realize, like today, I'm so confident about my insights. I can tell you the last 15 posts that have probably gone viral. I'm not saying 10, 15. That's because when you're really trying to tell the truth, you remember those experiences. It's just,
Absolutely.
it's happened in your life. It just works. So it's just that. I think that's why honesty works. And the reason why honest content is working so well for creators, just like a 10-second closure, is that, bro, Chat GPT has really ruined it. Okay. So people have come with Chat GPT in their comments, they've come with Chat GPT in their posts. What they're not realizing is that we are Indians and Chat GPT has been trained on US written data. So it's never going to match up to what you really want to send out a message of. So it may make your job easy, but it's not going to get you the results that you're looking for. It's in fact going to put the audience away. Everybody has an AI bullshit meter now. I have it, you have it, he has it. Everybody on the call probably has it. So when you write real and when you write the truth, chances are it'll probably work more than the other. There is no guarantee of anything because you never know how YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram, any of these
Yeah, but
platforms perform.
ChatGPT is something that would work at the same level. It's the same yardstick, it's the same tool for everybody, right? Obviously, the prompts can provide some level of differentiation, and I think people are learning how to use prompts better. And personally, I feel like with any new tool or technology, there is a pro and con, right? There's always the good and the bad. And I think the more people just use it to kind of, you know, get their own brand out there, but not really connect with people or trying to develop their own authentic voice around it, I think they're not going to really be able to leverage it. But yes, if you, let's say, are not the best at writing and you have certain stories you want to share, but you don't know how to write them in the most poetic form or in the most resonatable form, you can start off by getting an initial draft from ChatGPT and then perhaps, putting your flavor, your authentic tone on it. So I think ChatGPT, I am glad that you brought it up because that's again something a lot of people have started thinking about creating content because of Gen AI, right? That's been one of the biggest motivations. They knew they didn't have the time or the skill perhaps to create content regularly on a, let's say, weekly basis, but now it's possible, very much possible, and actually a lot of folks are doing that. But the difference is between just creating content and creating good content, that will actually get some traction. I think that distinction is important in terms of what you shared. I want to quickly now transition into all the questions that we've been getting in the chat section here because there are a ton of them and I don't want to miss out on any. So even though we have been having a great discussion, I want to start off with the first question that we have from Narendra. So Narendra's question is very valid, and this is how I used to think myself. Isn't content creation getting an overcrowded space given the entry bar is low? Again, chat GPT. Um, it's like trading in the stock market. And the second point is like, what is a good starting point for introverts? So, Manish, what are your thoughts on this? Especially the first question, right, which is more in regard with there's so many creators today, even though it's just, let's say, less than 1% of people who are creating. But what, like, should I not create just because there are, millions of creators already creating? Is that, something that should demotivate me? Or should I look at it in terms of, connecting with my audience and just looking at people who might resonate with me rather than, the whole of LinkedIn? So, Manish, yeah, over to you.
Okay, great question. So I would give a very short answer for both of the questions. It's creating the community. So when you actually talk that, okay, yes, every other industry is right now is oversaturated. It's not just the content creation. We just have to find a space where whatever value or the information or the knowledge which we are going to share, irrespective of any niche on any platform, how it is going to impact to that particular person. And that can only be done if you're going to do it within a community. So just try to see how you can build that community. Once you build that community, it becomes very, very easy for you to get that confidence. That is the first thing. And second, you will start feeling that, okay, whatever content or whatever the value which I'm going to add to the entire platform, it will definitely work you out. And this is the same answer for the introverts as well. So when you say what would be the good starting point, you have to try it everything within the community first. For example, there's a possibility you would be good in the videos, maybe the long form videos, maybe the short form videos, maybe the textual. If I give you my own example, every week I create 14 pieces of content on LinkedIn, 7 to 8 pieces of content on YouTube, approximately 21 pieces of content for Instagram. Now, what I usually do, uh, out of that, let's say 30 or 40 pieces of content, what I just do, I just create one long form video and then I just repurpose everything. So you just have to understand the process of creating the content creation. And initially, it would be very difficult to understand that, okay, if I am okay with videos or the reels, if I show you my first video, trust me, you will start hating me. But right now, of course, after creating approximately more than 800 videos across all the social media channels, I have that confidence that, okay, I know how to create that resonate, or how can I create that trust within the community so that whatever value which I'm going to share, they will take it in the same way which I am giving. So I guess that is my take on this question.
Brilliant. Can you all hear me? I just want to make sure. Manish, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so I was just asking Manish one quick question on that, right? Obviously, you're creating tons of content, as you said, even though it's just one video that's being repurposed. Usually, let's say I'm starting out as a solo creator, right? I don't have any help or support apart from maybe using Chat GPT as a tool. Um, like, is there a specific consistency or like magnitude of content in terms of how often I should be posting to make things work? Obviously, people say be consistent, but what does consistency really mean? Is it every day? Is it once a week, like Jatin just mentioned, or is it something else?
It completely depends on your goal. If your goal is just to show that, okay, I am still active on this platform, you can just be once a week. If you feel, because I usually feel from a very traditional business background person that, okay, I have to open my shop on daily basis, irrespective my customer come or not. So that is the same thing. I have to come to the social media every day so that people would starting remembering my video, my face, so that because now what is happening, because we do a lot of advertising as well. So whenever I go to any of lounges or cafes or bars, usually people start remembering my name. That okay, Manish, I saw your ad for the LinkedIn. I saw your ad on the different challenge. So if you really want to make your face remember, you have to show up on daily basis. This is the classic example is the central I would say BJP. So we have that quote, right? Up ki bar 400 bar. So they are doing on daily basis, and it's not like they had just started just like a 5 day or 10 day. They are doing it like back like a 1 year or 2 year. They are doing it consistently on daily basis. Up ki bar 400 bar. Up ki bar 400 bar, so that you actually remember that quote, remember that thing, remember that value which they are going to put. So it's completely up to your goal. But from my goal, it's all about I have to show up on daily basis so that people will remember my face for a longer term. So, yeah. Arjun, we can't hear you.
I think, can you hear me now? Yeah, perfect. So consistency can mean different things, I guess, for different people. But doing it every day in at least some form of fashion, even if you're sometimes repurposing prior content, just so that people get to know you, can help. I think in Jatin's case, Jatin, not to kind of hijack what you said earlier, but I think you can also have a journey where you start off at a different frequency and then over a period of time realize that something else might be better off for you, right? So there's no one size fit all. I think you really have to discover it for yourself. But yes, if you're just going to create like once a month or something like that, then the algos are kind of stacked against you, right? It's not really going to work. Yeah, Jatin, go ahead.
So I'll tell you, so this is a choice that I have taken, right? Like if I was not creating content consistently for like, I did LinkedIn audio events every Wednesday at 8 p.m. without a fail for like 8 regular months. So
Wow.
it was a choice because you do that kind of stuff, because you are creating 4 to 5 posts every week. You're gaining those insights from your content. So if you don't create that amount of content, how will you learn? Then your learning growth is going to be slow. So what Manish is doing is Manish is like, I don't really care, dude. I mean, even if I've reached at a point, I want to grow faster and I want to go ahead and I want to do whatever. So I need more insights on it. So it works very well in his favor. And that's crazy, dude. Like repurposing is fantastic. He makes one video and throws it all around. But I want to add one quick point to this, is like saying that it's too bad I'm not wearing my bucket hat. But one way is to, of course, create a lot of content. Another way that I use, in my opinion, is that I create a different brand identity. Someone send it to me, okay? Temperament by One Finance sent it to me. So I usually wear
I
a
love
bucket
that.
hat when I'm going. I have my glasses. So it's easy for anybody to identify me from the crowd. There was a video that recently went viral on my profile where I was getting some sort of an award or something. And my face is not visible because the camera was behind my back and I was going to go. Because I was wearing a bucket hat, it was easy to see. And then at the end of it, see, like it's just so nice that like brands are sending stuff to creators. And then there's always a way for you to create that identity for yourself, because the crowd is a lot and that definitely creates a lot of problem. So I agree with Manish over here. If you're starting your journey, you should create a lot of content, because how else will you learn? Your profile is going to perform differently. How else are you going to learn from your insights? That's my time. Over to you, Arjun.
Perfect. No, I think that's brilliant. I think consistency is something that's always talked about so much, and the algos kind of keep screwing with your brain a little bit, right? Because sometimes they reward you for it, sometimes they don't really care how consistent you are. So I think, stop depending on external factors. I think that's what Jatin and Manish are saying, and kind of build your own, consistency definition, whatever that is for you. But make sure you at least are posting once a week or more, to build that resonatability, the presence that creators frequently need to be able to connect with their community. I think we have a few people raising their hands. Let's take Swarnima first. Swarnima, I know that you raised your hand first.
Hi.
Yes,
Yes. Thanks.
welcome.
Thanks a
And
lot. And thanks for a great session.
absolutely.
Very, very meaningful. One question. I've been writing consistently on LinkedIn for the past 1 year, okay, 1.5 year. And while I've seen growth, I feel that I could really make use of a community, right? Like a powerful community that I can be a part of, share insights, and probably take away and give some value to. So, any ideas on how I can do that?
Jatin, I actually would love to have you talk about this first.
I can do it, but Manish is, by the way, the
Jatin,
god of
go.
community, okay?
Jatin,
On
go ahead,
last
Jatin.
thought, on his platform, what he has done, no, everybody's talking about it, but I can definitely take a quick dig at it, and
The
I'll
reason
give
I
the
just wanted to start off with you because you just talked about community building, right? You showed that amazing image of yours, and that cannot happen if you don't have community. Like people, if they don't resonate with you. So, anyways, I'm sure
I
Manish
love
will
you
add
too,
to it now.
Arjun. I love you too. You're so sweet. Okay, I'll tell you very quickly, okay? But Manish is really the king here in this one in terms of the work he's done. So, Swarnima, what a fantastic name. Let's hang out on LinkedIn and let's find out what it really means. But since the time
Yes.
is left and we have probably 6 minutes now, I'll give you the answer that you're looking for. Bro, check this out. Why would you want to create content in the first place? Like, I know Vipinder, I know Ratika, like, I know these guys only from LinkedIn. We've never really in our real lives met, right? So, you would genuinely really want to connect with people who you can help. Like, I talk about LinkedIn because I've been trained by the LinkedIn for Creator Accelerator program. I've been trained by the LinkedIn creator team. So now I can help people. So if you can help people, then you have something to give. So that's a good thing to start a community from. But you would actually want to care for these people. You would want to that they'll go for it. Go for it.
So something on those lines, Jatin, that how can I be a part of creator community that is already doing this? Something that LinkedIn sort of had, right? Something like that.
So it's very simple, okay? You'll have to go a little bit like a honeybee, roam around these people, engage with them, the people that you like, comment on their posts, gain their attention. See, they've become something now, and they have something that you want, bro. That's how it is. Everybody's really nice, but we're all friends, and everyone's so busy now. I'm meeting Manish now, dude. Like now on this call, I'm meeting Arjun for the first time, and we've been engaging with each other for so long, anyways. But when he sent me the text and said, "Hey, I have this like pivot thing. Would you want to do it?" I'm like, "Yes." What do we have to do? Where do we go? So I think
Yeah.
if you hang out with somebody, Vipinder and I, we're the best example of it. Okay. I know so many things about her, but I only know those. And we've never really met in real life. And we've never really met in an event. We were never in a program together, just on LinkedIn. So you'll have to spend some time. So I will say identify your top 3 profiles that you want to get interest from that match with your niche, engage with those profiles, do it for consistently for 3 weeks. When I say 3 weeks, all of their posts, you should be the first person to comment, press the bell icon. So just go and comment on that, gain their attention there. Because when you post, you're there to kind of like give some engagement there. If it doesn't work after 3 weeks on let's say 1 profile or 2 profiles and works on one, change those people. Because
Understood.
someone else is running their profile, they don't have the time for it, or they don't have the time to comment on it. So go to another person who probably is commenting on their posts. So try to engage there, but find someone who's relevant. I hope that answers, but I want to hear Manish's answer also. If you have any counters, you're going to give it to him there or to my profile. But lovely.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Manish,
adding.
yes, king of community, please go ahead.
Yeah, adding to Jatin's point, yes, we have to find the best people around so that we can just do the engagement, the thoughtful engagement with them, so that we get the support from them as well. But just try to see what kind of value you can pack in a sort of a bundle or a lead magnet through which people start want to talk to you. That is more important. So that they come to your, let's say, any type of a community. When I say community, maybe your WhatsApp group, maybe your Facebook group, maybe your Slack group or a Discord group. So whenever you are creating something, let's say on LinkedIn or any blog, just make sure you put out your community link as well and just mention as a CTA. If you really want to have, let's say, a free template or a free guidebook, just join this community so that people start coming to your community. Once you start creating the content on daily basis, then of course that trust engine will start getting triggered, right? And when people start connecting with you over the community and when you are putting the right value or the information for them on the daily basis for them, so they will also see that, okay, this person is giving me the value on daily basis. Now I should see how can I go forward with this particular person, maybe from a business side, or how I can help them as well, so that I can just talk about this person's community to my friends or to my colleagues or to my beloveds as well. That's how the entire marketing chain start working. So the first is trust, and the other is you just have to understand how people are going to connect with you. It's not just the content, but you just have to understand what would be my lead magnet so that people either giving their email IDs, their phone number, they're connecting with any sort of WhatsApp group, then the magic will start happening.
Thank you so much. Thanks a lot. Very generous.
Yeah, and Manish, I love that lead magnet part. You know, the way I think about it, I mean, lead magnet is probably the industry terminology for what we do, but really like just giving value for free, right? Adding value to people's lives. If you give value for free, which people actually want, people will automatically get attracted to you, and that's what a lead magnet essentially does. I know we have almost reached our time, but I want to take just last two questions. I hope that's okay with Jatin, you and Manish. I know you have crazy busy lives, so I'm just taking the liberty of
Yeah.
extending it by another few minutes. Vipinder, you've raised your hand for quite some time. Please go ahead, unmute yourself
Yeah,
and share your
thank you so much, Arjun, for giving me this opportunity. Thank you, Manish. And Jatin, what should I tell you? I have to tell you a lot, many things, but I don't know what I should say you right now. But yeah, I'm so very thankful to Jatin because of he's like an inspiration for me because I was very new on the LinkedIn and I was not knowing what to do, where to start, what to do. But I got a lot of first of all, Jatin, just tell me what is the secret of your energy? That is what I really
We don't
wanted to
say
ask.
Born Vita anymore because Food Farmer has put a lot of negativity around that.
Yeah, whenever actually, Jatin, you have an aura and you spread a lot of positivity, whether it is your voice modulation, whatever. I really like. You were the inspiration from the when I have started writing content. I was not knowing what to do, but I was just following you, and today I have reached here, and it is only because on the ground, your personality is so grounded, and you out of way you come and help people. That is really amazing, and I have to say a lot many things, but I know right now I'll not be able to. But one question is always, on events I used to ask. So I have one question for you. Uh,
Um,
yeah. So a lot of content gets lost in the noise online, right?
hmm.
So how can new creators stand out and attract an audience? How they grab the attention of the audience without having a massive followers already? Just
So I'll tell you, first of all, thank you so much, dude. That is so cool. Thank God it's getting recorded. That is so awesome. I'm gonna clip it out and put it on LinkedIn.
you deserve
Uh,
that, Jatin.
and now coming to your question, you're right. I think this question has already been answered also, but I'll give you my take on this. Is that yes, there's a lot of noise in the market, but don't you think that that's a good thing? Because there's a lot of noise in the market, so the need for quality content increases. I'll tell you, there was this guy, I will not remember his name. I don't remember names of people that easy. So he had 800 followers on LinkedIn. He had less than 1,000 followers on YouTube. I was researching for something. Okay, I was looking at like this succession planning and the Reliance or the Tatas or something I was studying about. This guy had made a fantastic video of 7 minutes. I found him on LinkedIn. I was like, what kind of content does he write? I'll probably see what posts have gone viral for him and see what I can write about. And interestingly, I reached on his profile and he had nothing there. Probably some posts he puts, but he has no engagement. So I sent him a connection request irrespective. So I think when you're creating quality content, right? When you're putting your time, what is quality content? That once you're done writing a content, you read it and you ask yourself, am I learning something new from this? If not, don't post it. Once you're done with writing content, you ask yourself, is it something I have read somewhere in the last 3, 4 days online? If the answer is yes, and there is no new value, dump it and don't write it. I mean, like, I know it's a tough thing to do and it takes a lot of time. Sometimes I scrap my posts also, but that's the way you maintain quality. I'll tell you, Chat GPT is one of the best things that has happened to India because a lot of people are using it. And if they don't know how to use it right, they're just putting scrappy content. And thank you, my content is going viral than last year compared to this year. So I'm very happy. Either I've learned it or Chat GPT has helped me. So try to see that is it worth sharing? Is the story worth enough? Would you like, how would you tell it to your friend who you're meeting after 2 years? If we met in real life, would you tell that post to me? Would you talk about that post to me? If you would, post about it. If you wouldn't, should you really post it? Because I mean, it's that. But in the beginning, I would say, like I said it earlier also, Manish also mentioned, probably try to post more because then you get to know what works on your profile. But that's honestly, that's all the answer that I have for you. But thank you so much. Korean heart properly. Thank you
I
so
was
much.
about to ask the same question. How, Jatin, your that post get viral? Just give me one tip on that because
Dude, if I
9,000 is not an easy. Like I was surprised to see how it happened.
I
Dipinda,
have
so
no clue.
Jatin, can I just answer that? It just hijacking that one. I don't
Yeah,
think
yeah.
anybody should ever aim for virality. I know it's a hot take out there because if you're starting your creator journey, everybody thinks about going viral. That's the first thing. I think the more you think about going viral, the more pressure it puts on you, and you feel more and more demoralized if that's not happening. So, like, there is a psychological negative cloud that hangs over you if you're only yearning for numbers and followership. And when that doesn't happen, you start to feel like content creation is not for you. So don't, like, when I started, and similar to Jatin and Manish probably, I was getting maybe like 20 likes, 30 likes, right? I didn't really care. I mean, if I cared for it, I would not have continued my journey because really the first 4 months were just like that, right? So I think at a certain point, the algos, if you're creating value add content, like Jatin has added tremendous value, Manish has added tremendous value to the community. If you keep doing that regularly, you will start to get virality. Jatin,
But should
I know you might have a different take on this, but feel free
I
to
have a
share.
completely different opinion. I'll tell you why, Arjun. Because
Yeah,
I talk about all of these things that, oh, look at Vijay Mallya and look at this Nandan Nilekani. Both of them come from the same year. One's the founder of Infosys, other one's the founder of Kingfisher Airlines. Look at how different these people are. So don't trust your demographics. That's how personal branding is different. Post goes viral short. Like I get like some 50,000, 60,000 impressions on it, right? But when I like after Ada's post or that Tesla post, so many people, when they read that post, they just came to me and said that, hey, we want to take your services. Can you help us build our personal brand? So maybe in my particular business's case, people consider my profile's virality as success on the platform and they think I can give it to them, which is pretty stupid. I agree with your point there partially that, I mean, every profile is different. So you're right with that. But I would say that had I not been searching for virality, I wouldn't be discontent with myself saying that, oh, I'll write just one post on Wednesday and it's going to perform. I'm fine with it. So there is, of course, science to it. You're at, sure, algorithms are there, bro. I get you. But it's people at the end of it. You're using algorithm to move people. So it's just that. So I would say you're right. If you're starting your journey, probably don't stress about virality so much. But if you will, maybe in my opinion, I'm of a different opinion. Different opinions can exist on the planet, guys. That's just a thing. This is a thing. We all can exist. So I think that this is the thing. I just think that because I kept trying for virality, I really studied the content of people. Like if you ask me about Pranay Loya, if you ask about Niharika, dude, I can tell you which post is viral. I can tell you Palak Rati's post which was viral. I can tell you Ankur Vari post which post is viral and how many thousand reactions has got on that one. So
yeah.
if you're making it scientific and not really stressing about it, then it's helpful. But Arjun's right. Don't really stress about it. You know, like just chill about it. Do your jobs. Don't quit your jobs. Then make some money through your content. Then quit your jobs. Then tell them bye bye forever. Moonlight
Right.
the hell on your personal profiles.
One of the things
Thank
that I
you.
just want to add, and then Manish, any thoughts you have on this, please share, and then we should start wrapping up the session soon. But my biggest I would say, the post that has gotten most traction, it's got like 1100, 1200 likes. And I think the only time that happened is when I did not plan for it at all. Right? It was a post about basically saying like how I think it should not always be about Forbes 30 under 30. Like I'd like to see people's achievements when they're 40 over 40 or 50 over 50, something like that. And it was a very short post. I didn't plan for it. I think I wrote it in maybe like 10 to 15 minutes. And then it happened after almost 2 years of creating content on LinkedIn, right? So I think some of the best things happen to you in terms of being rewarded virality wise when you don't always plan for it. But yes, I mean, there are dedicated influencers and creator professionals who have studied the algorithm to a T. And if you're trying to elevate your game to that level of professionalism where content creation is your mainstream career, then yes, I think a lot of the things that Jatin is saying should be taken into account. Manish,
Yeah.
please go
Thank
And
you
ahead.
so
my
much,
and my
Arjun.
takeaway for this specifically, just try to do two things. One, what the hook, which is going to trigger the emotion of the human. And second, use a very simple language. If you're using in English, please use very, very simple vocabulary so that
Absolutely.
anybody can understand your content. They can share it with their friends. So just make sure, just do these two things. And I can guarantee you, if you're going to do it consistently for the next 45 days, the 46th post will definitely go viral. because the post which got viral for me, that was about life life in Delhi versus life in Bangalore. So that actually triggers the emotions of the humans, that okay, Delhi versus Bangalore. So I've just made it all the pros and cons of the entire city from the work and the personal, and that got triggered, and I got like approximately 2 million content impressions on that. So you just have to see just two things and you will definitely go viral. I can 100% sure. I can give you the written guarantee on that, because there are like a lot of people who have joined today as well. They have purchased my LinkedIn documentary as well. And we have a specific module on that, how you can
Yeah.
go viral on LinkedIn. And these are the two things which you, if you can do it consistently, you will eventually get viral.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Arjun, Manish, and Jatin. I'm going to do it right now. I'll start it. Yeah, thank you so
Amazing.
much.
Yeah, that's the kind of energy we want to see. I mean, great question, Vipinda. I think a lot of people do think about virality a lot. And I think both what Jatin Manish said makes a lot of sense, even though they are different approaches. Keep experimenting and keep seeing what works for you. And with that, I want to bring today's session to a wrap. I think we had a fantastic session. Thanks so much to everybody who was able to join. This session was recorded, as Jatin said. So, all the praises that were shared about Manish and Jatin will be available soon on YouTube and many other platforms. I'm sure they're going to repurpose the heck out of that. So, thanks again. I hope you learned something from it. In case you have any queries about starting off your own creation journey, do connect with both Jatin and Manish. They are available on LinkedIn. They're active on LinkedIn. Comment on the posts, DM them, and see how they can potentially help you. You can also reach out to me in case you're looking for any sort of a transition to a new type of domain, new type of industry, in case that's your career goal. That's what we specialize in at Pivot. Feel free to check it out. And that's pretty much it, folks. Thanks again for sparing your precious time on a beautiful Thursday evening. Take care, stay cool, and stay safe. Bye, everyone.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
It was
Thanks so
fantastic.
much,
Thanks
Manish
a
and Jatin.
lot. Bye.
Thank you guys. Enjoy your time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.